In the first half of the season, the Yankees were unstoppable. They had the best record in baseball by a lot. They were scoring a bunch of runs, playing really good defense, not giving up a bunch of runs. It was really fun to watch this team. But now in the second half, they have not been good. In fact, teams have overtaken them for that number one spot in baseball, like the Dodgers and the Mets. They now have better records than the Yankees. So let's talk about the Yankees' problems and what they can do to fix them. Now, a lot of people like pointing to the offense just because that's the easiest thing to point to, but I'm going to disagree. The offense has been slightly down, but it still is mainly where it was at last the first half of the season. And with players like Stanton and Matt Carpenter on the IL, that's a little bit expected, but the offense is slightly down. But that's not the main issue. The main issues have been pitching, primarily the starters, and base running. They've been bad on the bases. So, first off, let's talk about the base running. Now, the Yankees ranked as the 19th best team running the bases in the first half of the season, according to Fangraphs. Not that good, not that bad either. This team is not designed to be stealing bases, but they were making all right plays. Weren't being too aggressive, weren't being too cautious. When they weren't stealing bases, they were taking extra bases when they could. They were doing all right. They've not been doing that. They're now the third worst team when it comes to running the bases, according to Fangraphs, in the second half. Just really bad there. As I said, Yankees are not going to be stealing a ton of bases, but they've been making just simple outs on the bases, advancing when they shouldn't be, stuff like that, and it's free outs for the other team, and outs really matter. Now, luckily, that is kind of one of the easier things to fix. Just Yankees need to practice base running more. Maybe don't practice BP. Don't take BP one day and just spend it on situational base running. That would help out a lot. I have optimism that the Yankees are going to improve there, but base running has been one of the things, but not the largest. The largest has been pitching. Now, in the first half of the season, the Yankees had a 3.08 team ERA. That was the third best in baseball, just behind the Houston Astros and Los Angeles Dodgers. Really good. In the second half, they have a 4.36 team ERA, which is the seventh worst in all of baseball. Not good there. Now, if we break it down a little bit closer, the starting pitching in the first half had a 3.22 ERA. In the second half, they have a 5.08 ERA. Not good there at all. And the thing is that this hurts the bullpen, because if a starter can't go deep into a game, you have to go to the bullpen earlier. And if this is consistently happening, the bullpen is pitching more innings, arms are getting tired, and they're going to do worse. Now, this kind of brings me to one of my questions here. Why did the Yankees trade Monty, Jordan Montgomery? They knew this was a risk. They knew that it was a massive risk that pitchers were going to be tired and that people like Domingo Germán were not going to be as good. For instance, Montas currently has a 3.37 ERA. Really good. Germán has a 4.18 ERA. Definitely not as good. And if it's the first thing I talked about, where maybe Yankees pitchers are getting tired, the starters are just breaking down a little bit, then you should have kept Montgomery and then maybe had a six-man rotation. Could have done that, have Germán pitch, but go with six-man rotation so starters are getting extra rest and can hopefully go deeper into games. Don't understand why they didn't do that. It would have helped the pitching a good amount. Now, what can you do? Well, first off, you call up Ron Marinasio. He has just been amazing for the Yankees, and I don't understand why they traded him. Currently, he has a 3.02 ERA on the season, and it's been even better when you consider that in his first 4 innings in the majors, he gave up 5 earned runs. In his next 22 and a third innings, he gave up 1 earned run. I don't understand why they sent him down. Why not send someone down like Jonathan Lewizika, who, yes, was amazing last year, but this season he's not been the same pitcher. He's pitched to a 6.57 ERA in 24 and two-third innings with a 4.62 FIP. Not good at all. And he has a minor league option remaining. You can send him down, and if he figures it out in the minors, bring him back up. I don't understand why they sent down Marinasio, though. It doesn't make sense. He was one of the best relievers for the Yankees this year, and they just decided, we don't want you. The next move, call up Clark Schmidt. Now, you might remember him. He used to be one of the Yankees' top pitching prospects. He's no longer categorized as a prospect anymore because he's pitched a decent amount in the majors, but he's still really good. So far in 30 innings in the majors this year, he's pitched to a 2.4 ERA and a 3.66 FIP. Not bad there. And he's also been amazing in the minors. At AAA, the highest level of the minors, he's pitched to a 2.86 ERA in 28 and a third innings. He's also had a 2.02 FIP to counter that, so really good there. I would like to give him a shot over Domingo Germán, or do what I talked about earlier and go with a six-man rotation. That way, pitchers can get more rest, go deeper into games, then you take some stress off of the bullpen. The Yankees need to change some stuff up, though. These are just my recommendations. Tell me your recommendations for what the Yankees can do to try to fix their issues, because they need to do something now.